with Momentum Accounting. I'm on the road right now. I have a little bit of time, so I just wanted to do a quick video. Talk about a quick and dirty way that you can figure out if you're pricing correctly. So if you're a $1 million business and you're the only owner of that business, you should be pulling in $300,000 to $400,000 a year between your W-2 wages and your profits. And if you're not, then keep listening, because I'm going to tell you how to do it. So for professional service businesses, right, you're basically selling people's time and with a markup. And so, like, as a general rule of thumb, if you want to get to a 20 to 30% net profit margin on a $1 million business, then that means that you should be, when you're pricing your labor cost, right, you should be charging whatever it costs you for an employee. You should be multiplying that by 3 to 5 times to arrive at your bill rate. So let's say, for example, an employee costs you $25 per hour. You should be billing them out at $100 per hour. And a lot of mistakes that new business owners make is not pricing that, not realizing that you need to do that, because that employee is going to be spending non-billable time on PTO, vacation, administrative time, team meetings, sick, all of these things, like 20% of their time usually, that you're going to have to cover that is not going to be billable. So that's one reason. And then 2, you need to be able to cover your operating costs. And so those are things like rent, utilities, software, accounting fees, legal fees, all of those things that you just kind of have to do to run a business. And then if you're using subcontractors and you only pay them for the time that they spend on client work or time that you bill, then you typically want to charge 2 to 3 times of their cost. So $25 an hour. Well, usually contractors are a bit more expensive, but you don't have to cover their non-billable time. And so that's typically why they're more expensive. And like with employees, you also have to pay their payroll taxes, benefits, etc. And the contractors have to pay that on their own. So that makes sense. So if you have a $50 an hour contractor, you should be billing them out at a minimum $100, more like $150 per hour. Okay, so if you have recurring revenue, and so you're going to MSP or an agency, and you're doing stuff for contract or for clients on a recurring basis, and so you have like a team of people that are doing things, and that team of people may be doing various things for each client. Rather than trying to make it super complicated and try to do specific project costing or going through and trying to understand the cost per person and how much time they're spending at the individual level, my recommendation is to take the average costs of your employees and multiply that times 4 and use that as your target ABR, or average billable rate. Okay, so when you're going through the sales process with a client and you're estimating how long it's going to take, so let's say you think this client is going to take 20 hours of time per month, multiply that by your average billable rate target. So let's say it's $200 an hour is what you want to make on an hourly rate, multiply that by 20, and so you should be charging that client $4,000 per month. And so then each month, when you are taking you should be tracking time, right? So you have your time data, so you know how much as a team or how much total that your team spent on each client. You know how much revenue you earn from that client. So you just take the revenue divided by time spent. You do that for all of your clients, and then you sort highest to lowest. Your lowest clients, those are the ones you need to go out and reprice. And this is why I'm not a fan of blanket repricing or blanket price increases, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to piss off your clients that are already you're already getting a good average rate on, and then your lowest performing clients are still not going to be high enough for you to continue servicing them. So you might be wondering, well, how do I figure out for an employee what their average or figuring out what their hourly cost is? So really quick and easy way to do this is, if let's say you have an employee that is $100,000 per year. So let's say that employee has payroll taxes, which is usually about 8.5% that you have to pay. So that's already like $108,000. And then let's say they have benefits. So let's say we're going to say it's 15% extra for payroll taxes, benefits, health insurance, 401k, all that kind of stuff, plus office space, computer equipment. So we're going to multiply the 100,000 times 1.15, and that gets us to 115,000 of what that employee costs. And then divide that by 2080. That's how many hours there are in a work year, divided by 2080. So if you divide that by 2080, that's going to give you their hourly rate. Okay? Multiply that times 4, and that's what you should be charging for that particular employee. And then again, if you have multiple team members working on a client, take the average cost of all of them, maybe the weighted average cost, and then multiply that times 4, and that should get you to where you need to be in terms of, and let me clarify, these are employees and contractors that are working directly with clients, right? This isn't your admin assistant who's not doing client work. Don't include them in this calculation. This is only people who are doing billable work, okay? Hope that is helpful. That should guarantee that your profit is around 20 to 30%. Then you should be paying yourself a reasonable salary on top of that. So go build yourself $1 million business and make 400K. Peace.